he is on the other side of the studio with that first conversation all about World Obesity Day.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Now, World Obesity Day was the 4th of March, but the Heart and Stroke Foundation has decided to extend their World Obesity Day campaign to continue to raise awareness and inform people of the dangers of obesity. Now, joining us in studio right now is Sister Babalwa Rongwana, who is the Health Promotion and Health Risk Assessment Program co-lead at the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and she's going to be telling us a little bit more about their campaign. Now, Sister Babalwa, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. This is your first time here on XA Live. Oh, it's so lovely to have you now. Tell us a little bit more about this campaign, and what the theme is for this year.
Okay. The World Obesity Federation has decided that on an annual basis that we're going to be celebrating World Obesity Day on the 4th of March. And the aim is to make sure that people are aware about obesity and to make sure that it is recognized as a disease, and not just people being fat and people being obese and people being overweight. It's actually recognized as a disease, and people can do something about it.
Exactly, because as you mentioned, it's not just always about weight and appearance. So there are common misconceptions when it comes to obesity, right? And I'd like to know, in your opinion, how does that contribute to the stigma towards obesity?
Because people tend to look at people that are overweight and obese as people that are being lazy or not eating right. They're not looking into the fact that there are many contributing factors into obesity. It can be your genes, it can be biology, it can be medical problems, it can be many things. It's not just about what you eat or lack of exercise.
100%. And because obesity is such a problem here in South Africa, I was wondering if you could maybe just share some of those statistics with our viewers.
Okay, in South Africa, 67% of females are obese and 38% of males are obese. We're also having a problem with children. 1 in 4 children under 5 is obese in South Africa, and the numbers are increasing.
Wow, so 1 in 4?
1 in 4.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, and it affects their physical, mental, and self-esteem, because they are young adults.
Yes, and I mean, obviously, growing up at such a young age and having this disease, having this issue, I mean, it foreshadows such a long, line of struggles. But I do understand that if we can, get it early enough and address it at a young stage, I think that's a, great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea. And the sooner we get to identify and work on it, the better the outcomes.
I agree. Now there is a relationship between cardiovascular disease and obesity, and I was wondering, for our viewers, if you could just explain that relationship, please.
Okay. Obesity is defined as an excessive accumulation of fat in your body. So because there's excessive fat around your heart, the heart works harder to pump the blood into the body that is rich with nutrients. So that puts your body at risk of developing your heart diseases, your strokes, certain cancers, and high blood pressure.
Okay, and we mentioned that it's not always about what you eat, and it's not always, about an outer appearance. But I think we do have to address the fact that, in our society, eating unhealthy foods is quite common, right?
Yes.
And I'd like to know, in your opinion, what do you think influences our communities to eat that way, number one, and how do we change that mindset?
I think having a conversation around obesity and having a conversation around the food that we put in, and actually encouraging people to eat more veggies, more fruit, and to be more active, and not stigmatizing the people that are overweight, and understanding that it may not actually be their fault.
I mean, there could be, other underlying issues that might contribute, to that weight. And I'd like to know, what does the Heart, Stroke Foundation, what do they do to combat this?
Okay, what we are doing as the Heart and Stroke Foundation is that we are doing community outreaches in the community, and we are encouraging the people to know their numbers. You need to know what your blood pressure is, what your weight is, what your BMI is, and we need to identify if you are at risk of developing heart diseases, and you need to do something about it, so that if it's identified early, then you know, and then you'll be able to go and seek help.
100%.
Yeah.
And we are running a little bit out of time. So just for our viewers, if they want to find out a bit more about the Heart and Stroke Foundation and learn a bit more about obesity as a whole, where can they find this info?
They can find the information. We've got a website, www.heartfoundation.co.za, and we're available on Facebook, Instagram.
Babalwa, it was absolute pleasure to have you here in studio. Thank you so much. As you know exactly where to find them, and it's always important to detect this thing very early. But for now, we are talking about all things health and well-being, and I know that our girl Lauren is ready to do a little bit of workout. So we have a fitness expert in studio today, and Lauren is going to be doing her thing. Lauren, what do you have over there? So, we are live, Babalwa, so things, go a little bit crazy. But I'm just going to ask you one more question. When it comes to, obesity, what are the signs that you need to look out for first? Because there are certain symptoms that, might arise in an early age. So what are those signs for people so they can just, detect this a little bit earlier?
Obesity.
Yes.
If your clothes are not fitting the way they used to, if you see that you are picking up weight and the belt is a bit tighter.
Yeah. We start getting a little to breathe when we're sitting down in the outfit.
Yes, then
that's a call.
That's a call. That's a call.
And tell me, is there a specific weight range that you should have based on an age?
Your weight is according to your BMI.
Your BMI, right?
It's measured according to your height. So it's not measured according to your age.
Okay.
It's in ratio with your height.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Babalwa, thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Now, I want you out there to please go and talk to us on our social media channels. We want to hear from you. That is at XA Live on all social media platforms. And I know that Ms. Lauren has our social media question of the day. So, Lauren, tell us a bit more about that.
Listen, it was so